Hey everyone, what's up, what's new, what's going on? Welcome back to the 2013 OCAA Men's Doubles Finals, and these two teams are now playing for the gold medal match. Well, they've been doing it since set number 1, but we are at set number 2, and Team Seneca is well on their way because despite being the underdogs going into this matchup, they were able to take the first set very convincingly. 21-16 first set was the scoreline for Seneca, and Humber has really got their backs against the wall right now because despite being the favorites going into this matchup, going pretty much undefeated throughout this championship, they have lost their first sets, and now they need to win their next 2 sets just to come back and take this gold medal back for Humber College and for their team. So this is going to be pretty interesting whether Humber is really able to come back from this, because if you recall in the first set there were a lot of unforced errors from the Humber team, and that meant a lot of easy points for Team Seneca, and Seneca really just capitalized on that. Didn't make as many mistakes, won the points they needed to win, and just kept Humber at bay for the majority of the first set. And chances are you're not going to see Humber just give up so easily. You're not going to see them continuing on to make the mistakes. And this is going to be a very interesting second set. Ian going for the power smashes, but unable to finish, sending that last shot just a little bit long. And if you guys can hear the crowd on the near side and the far side, there's definitely a lot of support for both of these teams. The entire Humber team and the entire Seneca team is just cheering, using their noisemakers, and making a really crazy event out of this, as Seneca's serving it at 3-4. Well, a couple of mistakes again creeping into the Humber side, and Seneca really just not really having to play that long of a rally at all, and that's really been helping Seneca along with in terms of the scoreline at least. And the flick serve to great effect as Ian gets the serve again for the Humber or for the Seneca team on the near side of the court. Great interception by Ian, yet again using his height at the front of the net and being able to cut off that last shot. Nothing Humber can do about that, and now pressing the lead at 6-4. Ooh, that was very... that wasn't the typical misjudgment that you see in any final. That shot was well in, but Jimin and Jung decided to leave that out, and that cost him just 1 point. You can see Humber really trying to loosen up. They know that they're making a lot of mistakes, and they're trying to do the best they can to kind of fix that. Great defense by Humber so far, but the offense by Seneca. Wow, both of the Humber team are on the floor trying to save the rally, but unable to do so. Seneca really just pumped up after that last rally. They know they have the advantage. They know that they won the first set, and they're really going to have to, they're going to keep on pressing to make sure that they're going to keep this advantage and keep the lead and finish this in 2 sets. Oh, Jimin Jung really tried to save that last net court shot, but unable to do so as Humber just finishes it off easily. But still a 2-point deficit by Humber yet again. Wow, and a really poor serve by Johnny, leaving Ra on the ground yet again. So Seneca really pressing their advantage, and still Humber is just scrambling around trying to save the rallies, trying to prolong the rallies as much as possible. But when you're on the defensive, there's really not much you can do to win points. So quite a few errors again creeping into the Humber game, and Johnny clearly distraught by the last error. And this is shaping up to be a very similar scoreline to what we saw in the first set. Wow, so many unforced errors, and that's really costing Humber right now, as the scoreline is 11-6 in the mid-game interval. I'm going to try to skip this video, skip the break at least, and go directly back into play. So just give me a sec here. There we go. Oops, I kind of skipped too much of it. But anyway, we are at 11 or... Yeah, I don't know what the score is right now. So I'm going to have to correct the scoreline and see what's happening here. But I think I skipped a few points. But right now we're just going to assume we're at 11-9. Alright, so the scoreline is back on track and Seneca is leading 14-9. So with a 5-point advantage in the second half of the second set. They're really just kind of cruising along right now as Humber is still struggling. Wow, yet another unforced error by Johnny Truong from Humber, and you can hear the fire alarm going in the background. I think that's what they call a stage 1 fire alarm. So there's really nothing you need to do when the fire alarm is going on. It's kind of like a warning. So if you can ignore that, we'll just keep on going with play and see whether Humber can do anything about the scoreline right now. You can see Humber is really desperately trying to maintain the attack and just going for every single shot they can, hitting as hard as possible. And for that rally, it worked because they weren't making the unforced errors and they were able to pressure the Seneca team. Still 5 points down though. Ooh, Ian usually able to cover the net very well. This time unable to get it back over the net. And now Humber is slowly inching their way back into attacking position, but they still got a long way to go. Ian going for the big smashes, and so is Ra. Wow, diving twice is Jimin. And great defense by the Seneca team right now, but last shot was just a little bit out, I believe, and that gives Humber yet another chance to come back from this. Now only 3 points down and serving at 13-16. The fire alarm is still going on, but nobody's moving. All the spectators are staying on their seats despite the fire alarm and trying to support their team and finish this match. And Humber really just doing a great job of coming back from this. You can see that they weren't making as many unforced errors. They were making sure that they were attacking in the rallies and making sure that they weren't giving too much room for the Seneca team to attack. So great interception in the midcourt by Ian Tang. 17-14 is the scoreline with Ian serving. And here comes the attack again by Ra. Oh, pushes that one just a little bit long. And yet again with Ian serving, they've got a 4-point lead serving at 18-14. So crunch time right now for Team Humber. They've really got a pressure to come back from this. And it looks like Seneca is just going to... I mean, if this continues, they're just going to cruise on into winning this gold medal. Ooh, Johnny just cleverly leaving that one long. And now a 2-point deficit with Ross serving to Ian. Big dive by Ian, using his height and still unable to get that last shot. A very clever drop shot by the Humber team. Gives them a chance to really tie this game. We're at 17-18 with, I think it was Johnny who was serving. And as they wipe down the court, it's really hard to tell. I mean, 5 minutes ago, you would have thought Seneca would have taken this easily, as the Humber team was really struggling to just even keep the shuttle in. But now, after the last few rallies, it looks like Humber has gotten the second win. They know what to do right now to come back from this, and they're really going to have to just keep on continuing with what they've been doing in the last couple of minutes to tie this up and really just take this to a third set. So it is Ra serving to Jimin. And with an unforced error by Jimin, that ties the game up at 18-all. This is coming up to be a nail-biter. Every one of the spectators here are just kind of in their seats, in the edge of their seats, not knowing who's going to win and really just supporting who their own teammates, I suppose. Wow, great coverage at the front of the net by Jimin, and giving him just a slight advantage at 19-18. So this is really, really close. Johnny wasn't ready for that serve, so we're going to have to reserve that last one at 19-18. Oh, miscommunication by the Seneca team right there. Both of them were on the left side of the court as the shuttle went to the right. Nothing they could do about that, and now it's tied yet again at 19-all. This is really close, ladies and gentlemen, and it's going to be impossible to determine who's going to win the next 2 points. Oh, that is a very costly mistake by Ian right there. So giving Humber the chance to take the second set with set point at 20-19. Great attack by Ian. Seeing that serve was a little bit high and just taps it off the net cord and ties it up at 20-all. So we're going into extra points. First team to win by 2 takes the set, and if Seneca ends up winning this, they're going to take the championship. So a lot of pressure from the on the Humber team right now. Ooh, a very costly error right there. He was at the front of the net, able to take that net shot, but unable to get it over. So now, championship point for the Seneca team with Ian serving. Indecision by Jimin at the back of the court, and that really costed him. 21-all is the scoreline. So both of these players have had set points, and neither of these players were able to neither of these teams were able to capitalize on it. So now we're still going to extra points. So far, first one to 23, I suppose. Big attack by both the Seneca team members. Both Jimin starting it off and setting it up for Ian. And 22-21 is the scoreline. Yet another set points with Jimin serving. And a lot of pressure on the Humber team right now. Can they just make this, prolong this set just a little bit more? Going for the big smash and the attack. Oh, and that one lands in. So the underdog, Seneca, takes the gold medal of this OCAA championship, and they're going on to the nationals.